Hi. Good afternoon. Okay, day 4. This is Friday. I arrived on Monday. Started setting up my studio on Monday night, Tuesday. So the last time I spoke to you was Tuesday. So I've got all the grounds down, or most of the paper sized. So I've got 6 sheets of double A1s, 7 sheets of A1, which have all been coloured. And the big canvas behind me is in first layer of Carpathian gold ochre, which is from Poland. And the 7 A1s are in barium, nickel, titaniate, cadmium, lemon, cadmium, arylite, cadmium deep, and lead tin. And I've started the painting behind me on it's on nickel titaniate. So I've kind of begun, and really this is the hardest place to be. So choosing and starting, as I spoke before, is a really important time to what kind of language game you're playing. But what I'm doing now is trying to get the stuff out of me, so I'm fishing. It's very hard. Well, I find it very hard to empty my mind from all the other work in progress that I've got in England. I've got the Milton series, which has been going on for 2 or 3 years now, so it's reading it, and then as I read it, I'm responding and making these drawings, which have grown into A2 size drawings, which are going to be, well, I've already started making them into lino cuts, and there's 100 now in there, 100 drawings, which will be, and then there's the Turkish series, which are 36 pieces that I did when I was in Turkey. There's the Belgium 15 that I'm working with Joanne Riordan, Dr. Joanne Riordan, the writer. So I've done these drawings when I was in Belgium, and it made a narrative, and then she's writing a story, and I'm starting to cut those too. And they're all going to be made up, or they're about the light-dark contrast of yellow against violet. As soon as I've been playing with these complementaries, like in the blue-orange series that was still being exhibited at Celia Lendis Gallery, that you can see on her website, in Moreton in the Marsh. They're either to do with making it in a place and letting the place speak to me, or it's to do with the text, so it's direct. In a way, it's a lot more straightforward than what I'm trying to embark on here, or what I've been embarking in the red series and in the orange series. So it's looking at a colour, and trying to empty my mind of. So being in a foreign place is really good too. But really, what I'm doing is I'm peering into my unconscious. I'm trying to fish, so to speak, and it's exhausting. It's hard, frustrating, and difficult. I've got to trust instinct, and I doodle. I've got some doodles behind me, and seeing what surfaces. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'll just talk a couple of things about that. But really, there isn't much show. There's a couple of this painting, painting here and drawing the other side, and a couple of other drawings. But really, it's just very, very early beginnings. And what I'm going to do is go walking at the weekend over the hills, maybe draw a bit. But drawing, which I do want to do around here, it avoids the confrontation of the colours. And really, it's about confronting the colours that are around me here in the studio. That is really, it's very demanding, and it's asking. I'm trying to ask questions of myself. One person who's very interesting on this that I found reading is Lacan, where I quote, "The unconscious must be apprehended in its experience of rapture between preconception and consciousness, in that non-temporal locus that Freud calls another scene." This this place of weakness, this place of not knowing, of awkwardness that I'm in. This is where it comes from. This is where it's manifest. The presence of process that I believe I'm going to find it. Well, I have found it in the past. I want the unconscious to manifest itself at this point, where in fact language fails and stumble. Now, the interesting thing is that I suppose my main thing I'm talking about constantly is that I believe colour is a language and that you can become literate in it. So really what I'm doing here is I'm pushing that whole thing too of, I believe colour is a language, but I'm trying to get the language of the colour yellow out of myself. Lacan's thesis is that the unconscious is structured like a language. And he's talking about what signifies, and he's talking about sign with meaning. Now, yellow is a sign for me, and it has meaning. And in colour as a language, what I'm thinking and doing is pressing into that unconscious and bringing it out. But it's, oh my goodness, it's so hard. It's really difficult to keep one's sanity, really. But maybe that's not the right word, but it's just, it is difficult. But the reward, which is what I've seen in my work, in this pursuit, is great. It's huge, because it does flop out of you. It's kind of getting inside one's mind and pulling those things out into a visible form. What I've got in these two is quite interesting. This is something that started this image, this kind of flying thing, hovering over a landscape, or does look a bit like a couple of drums in a washing machine flying over a landscape. But these kind of looking forms, that appeared when I was in Turkey, that popped up. And these have popped up again, so I'm quite intrigued by that. But then the Turkish series are very much to do with yellow violet, so it does make sense that they've come up again. So I think that's as far as I've got. So I will be pursuing this in the next few days, and then I'll send you another report. There we go. It's a lovely day. It's beautiful. I had a lovely meal last night. Oh gosh, that was fantastic. Anyway, more of that another time. All right, I will stop there.